Can you hear me?
Thank you. Thank you so much for speaking to me. This is an absolute fantastic season, but I want to dive into A-Train. I was wondering, by him basically being the leaker and helping them, do you feel that this is a redemption for himself and for his past, or is it a redemption for how we look at want superheroes in the show?
I think it's a redemption for himself in his past. It's very personal for A Train. It always has been. The reason why he's dug himself in such a deep hole was also personal. It was always very selfish and self motivated. He has a few people that he cares about, but he was even ignoring them for his own selfish needs and just where he wanted to be and who he wanted to be. And I think that now he's taken a second look at that. It's redirected that intention. He's still very much worried about himself. Still, even right now, he'll might lean in or lean out of a situation to help somebody else, but not at the expense of his self. So it's very personal for him. Oh, you on mute?
I was wondering also in that sense, do you feel that A-Train is not able to be the superhero he wants to be? Is there a form of self-hatred wrapped in that?
Absolutely. I think that there's a moment in season 4 where A-Train goes and drops MM off at the hospital, and he sees a little kid, and then he, for a second, is the superhero that he always wanted to be. He's the guy that comes in and saves a life, and children look up to, and his charm is misled. He's just been in this situation of, I'm going to pretend that I'm good, but I'm really bad for so long that when he does do something good, it really does affect him, and he feels it. He feels it a lot deeper in that moment than I think people realize. And that's just who he always wanted to be. That's who he trained so hard to. It was he and his brother just trying to be a champion for the people that look like him. And he just ended up being quite the opposite. And I just think that, I think that deep down, he absolutely hates who he's become, but it's just an endless cycle, and he just can't see a way out.
What does freedom look like to him?
I think freedom to A-Train just looks like getting out from Vought, but there's only one way out of Vought, and I think he knows that. So freedom looks like death, and I think at the moment where A-Train decided, when he had the bad heart and he decided he was going to drag Blue Hawk, like he knew that meant he was going to die. There's no way that he was going to exert that much energy on this heart that is this close to exploding without realizing this could kill me. And even in death, he ended up back in the 7, back in Vought, now with a new heart, and Ashely's being so vocal about, look, we gave you a second chance. So like, from what we know about Vought, that means you owe us. You know what I mean? So it's like, he made the decision, cool, I'll take my own life because this is what matters to me. You did this thing to my family, and I can't have that. And if it means that I died getting what's right, then that's okay. And he ended up deeper in the cycle. And so it's like, I don't know, even death isn't enough. You can't take your own life and come back harder. Like, I don't know. It just seems like there's no way out for my poor boy.
So that interesting friendship relationship with A-Train and Ashely. I Do you feel that there is a sense of kind of loyalty? It's hard to explain, like, loyalty, even though there's nobody's loyal to
Right.
begin with. So is there a sense of trust that I know you have to have, but are you holding on to that trust?
No, I think it's desperation. I
Mm.
just think both of them understand the weight of the circumstances that they're in. But you also have to understand they've been working together for a long time. Back when Ashely was just an assistant, A-Train saw her right before his eyes become the monster that she became. She saw him become the monster, so I feel like that they have that familiarity between each other before they became so dark and so twisted and so corrupted. And they can relate to each other in that way, that A-Train almost can't with any other character. There's not many other characters in there that he can sort of say, look, you remember how I was when I walked through these doors, you know. But Ashely is one of those characters that he can say that with, so that he does trust her just because he knows where she came from, and at the end of the day, she's in it, or she was in it for the right reasons, as he was, you know. And now they both are just able to look at each other and say, well, shit, we here now, you know. Like, how did this happen? But you know, I think that they just see something in each other that when they're in the tower, it's just not, it's not within anyone else. You know, they can't trust anyone else in the same way. Not really.
He's still holding on to a piece of humanity despite
I
everything.
I think so.
How is he not desensitized?
I think he is desensitized, but his brother got hurt. It brought the sensitivity back.
Mm.
Before that, you lose a life, whatever, you shrug it off, you know, wash your hands, wash your clothes, and go back to work. But once his brother got hurt, I think he finally felt something again. And that's what sort of woke him back up. You know, it was the only person that he cared about that was left, because he was in love at one point. He killed the love of his life. So it's, you know, that's as desensitized as it gets. You know, after that, he was numb, cut everything off. And then something that he thought would never happen happened, and it actually woke him back up.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to me. I look forward to the finale.
Of course, Dana, I hope you like it.
Yes, thank you.
All right, have a good one.